Good afternoon. Welcome to From Zero to Streamer, the social media journey. In this podcast, we dive deep into the world of social media streaming, unraveling the step-by-step journey of becoming a successful content creator. Each episode features interviews with seasoned streaming social media experts, and influencers who share their story, tips, and lessons learned. Whether you're starting from scratch or looking to level up your streaming game, we'll cover essential topics like building an audience, selecting the right platform, creating engaging content, managing mental health, and monetizing your stream. Join us as we explore the highs and lows and everything in between on the path to turning your passion into a thriving career in the digital world. Whether you're into gaming, lifestyle, music, or vlogging, this podcast will help you find your niche and thrive in the competitive world of social media streaming. Hi, thank you for joining us today. How are you
Hi.
doing?
Good. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. I get to hang out with my bestie for an hour.
I
Now,
get to have not only do I finally get to be on your podcast, but it's the very first one I've ever done. So I'm super excited.
oh my gosh, this is amazing. I like first times. So I know who you are. I
Yes,
know
you
what
do.
your name is. I know your social media name. So
You
tell
know
people
my
who
kids.
are, I do know your kids. Who are you?
I am Darkstar. Uh, I'm a tarot reader. I like to refer to myself as a vibe in a weird way.
Oh, you are a vibe.
I am a vibe. I'm a pure Aquarius. And I wound up on TikTok one day. I love what I do. I found a niche one day. I've been everything and everywhere. I've been in all forms of entertainment. I have worked in a corporate office as a billing as a billing supervisor in an insurance company.
Oh, Lordy, I can
Yeah.
only imagine.
I've been a bartender. I've dabbled in a lot of things because I was always running from I think what I always was meant to be, and that was a vibe. Um, and I found I kind of with my social media journey, one of the things I found was I found who I was. And that's one of the things like I'm doing here now. I know I'm already kind of like excited to tell my whole story because it's a lot. It started when I was 5. And I don't know how I
Let's
got
go.
here.
Well, we're gonna get to how you got here. So let's start with
Okay.
how did you get your name?
How did I get my name? Thank you, Jill. See, that's why she's my best friend because she knows how to put my squirrels in order and get me back on the right road. Thank you, love. I'm Darkstar, and the reason I'm called Darkstar is one, I dabble in a little of everything. I don't think life is black or white. I feel it's very shades of gray. So I always lean towards things to see things from other perspectives. There's the dark and Star because it's my middle name. It's my middle name. My mom called me
That
Star.
is the most perfect middle name for you ever.
Thank you. And growing up, I grew up with my family was very spiritual, and that's they named me Star, and it always stuck. So I felt it was kind of like what's the word a tip of the hat to my
It was
family to
meant
remember
to.
exactly who I am, and that's where it comes from, Dark Star. So most people call
That
me
is
Star.
beautiful.
Thank you.
I can see the star because I always talk about you as the bright star, not the dark star. When you come in,
Yes,
it's
the
like
star
I
that
always
brightens the dark, I think is what you
correct.
always say.
Yeah, that's exactly what I say. The star that brightens the dark. And that's my own pun on your username. But I think it is very fitting because I've seen the spicy and the feisty, so I can see the dark.
Yes, you have seen the dark. Very few have. You are one of them who's seen it. It's scary when it's as long as it's not directed at you, which it never has been, obviously. But yeah,
No,
it get dark.
but it's fun to watch.
It is fun to watch.
I'll tell you that. So you were mentioning that you've done and dabbled into a lot of things from corporate
Oh yeah.
um to bartending to everything in between, and you got into streaming.
Yes.
I'm
Uh
assuming now I can't assume because necessarily I know a lot of this. So sometimes I'll ask questions that you're like, but you already know the answer. But the people listening don't know the answer.
they do
Um,
not.
I know that currently you focus on TikTok, and I know TikTok
Yes.
is your primary streaming.
It's my favorite
But
place. But
is this where you started?
Um, yes. Wildly enough, yes and no. Kind of streaming. For me was more of Zoom. It was kind of like Discord style. I had clients local. If they had friends out of state, out of town, especially during the pandemic back in 2020, when I had lost my last job, when we closed down, I was bartending and everything just kind of shut down. I had to find something to do. So I was like, you know what? I've been doing tarot since I learned the alphabet. My mom was teaching me tarot. Let's lean into that a little bit, see if anybody, and it really took off. Developed myself a small little part-time practice, enjoyed myself. And then one day it was during the pandemic and I'm scrolling and I'm posting cat videos. Mind you, I had about 1,000 followers. And I saw this person doing tarot and I was like, wow, they're really not very good at this. Like, they're not very engaging. They're kind of boring. Like, I'm just like scratching my head. And I'm like, I could do this. This could be fun. It would give me something to do. And then I put it off for about 3 years.
Sounds about right.
And it sounds about right, right? Because you know me. I'm
Uh-huh, sounds
Aquarius
about
through and
right.
through. So when I did
You
finally
spun in
pick it back
circles.
up,
You did the
um,
hokey pokey.
I do, yes, because I have to dance around it for about 15 minutes and 15 days and then a few weeks before I'm comfortable. But when I did finally go, August 2023, I hit that live button. I had 1,100 followers and I was petrified. I put on a filter, I put on a weird face, and I was terrified. And I was awoken to like this whole world of people that I never would have met. And to this day still come to see me live. Um, but it was scary and
Oh,
I
it's
like things.
absolutely petrifying.
It was petrifying. I think I had trolls on my very first day. I don't think I had more than 5 people. But I had this one person, and I'll never forget her. And I remember her screen name to this day. And I hope it's okay if I say it. Her name was Hippie Rebel
Absolutely.
Girl. We still talk. Hippie Rebel Girl. And she came in and she was like, "You look so nervous." She's like, "Don't be nervous." She got a reading from me that very first day, and it was a couple of coins. I was just so excited, and I felt alive for the first time in a outside of working, I was a mom.
I know
Pandemic,
the
stuck
feeling.
home. 3 years, no work. I found a community. I found a family that just over time just started to build. Um, some of it's so blurry, Jill, and I don't know if you can. I know you probably
Oh,
won't
we're gonna
understand.
dissect and we're gonna talk about the blur in
Yeah.
between because I know you just said that on your very first live you did a reading, and
Yes.
currently you do most reading, but it's definitely a vibe. It's a coffee shop, it's a tarot shop. You come
It's a
in
coffee shop.
with it, you
Absolutely.
come in
Coffee, tea,
and
and tarot.
experience the thing, but it's not necessarily just a tarot. But that's not
No.
all it's been from the start to to now.
Oh,
You've had a
absolutely
roller
not.
coaster of tryouts.
Oh,
So tell us a
yes.
little bit of the things you tried.
Well, like I said
All
earlier,
that
I did.
laughter.
I I started with cat videos. That's how I got my first 1,100 followers. And then I went on and I went to what I knew first, and I noticed that especially with new streamers, you go to what you know. Like what you feel the most comfortable with. I know tarot. I could pull a card and I could give you everything about it. So I knew that I could hold my own with that. But then like I said, this new girl comes in. She comes in out. She would come in every time I was there, and made me. And I started to build these people that would just come and be my friend. And after the pandemic, a lot of us didn't go out anymore, and a lot of us with ADHD or any kind of neurodivergence would just kind of want to stay alone. But we wanted
Hmm.
community. We wanted that connection, but we couldn't seem to get ourselves out. It was that new window. And then I made my
Definitely was.
first 10 diamonds. And I was like, wait, this is my time. This could be a job. And that's when I buckled in and I said, all right, what do I really want out of life? And the one thing I truly wanted outside of tarot, outside of everything else, my first transition, Jewel, was I just wanted to make people laugh. I wanted to make them smile. I wanted to bring
Wait,
some
and you do that very
positivity.
well.
Well, thank you. And the first troll I got inspired me. Came on and told me, "You look so old." You da 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 da, and tried to like razzle me up. And I think they did. I'm pretty sure I shut down the live and I went and I cried for 20 minutes. And I was like, I can't do this. This is for kids. And I went back and I kept going back. And now I welcome trolls. I think they're amazing. I think they
Oh, we love
are.
our trolls.
Oh, they are such a part of the ecosystem.
Oh,
Like
yes.
I don't think it would be the same without some of them in there
Without
too.
bacteria, we can't exist.
We can't survive.
We need the good, the bad, and the in between. What is it that
All of
growing
it.
up they say? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
But there was a time, and I know you know this, Jewel, where I didn't see my live stream without tarot. And I
Yes, there was a
still,
time.
oh yes, very much. I know that was a very dark period for me. Because we weren't sure where the future of TikTok was going to take us. But now I do see, if tarot was to be taken away, that doesn't mean I have to go. There's a growth. I've watched myself go from, I tried everything. I gamed for a while, and
You did.
I
You did.
did.
You did game for a while.
I still game. I just don't do it on social media anymore. Um, and you
And there's a
find
place and
yourself.
space for gaming. Like you could,
There
do it on
is.
your Discord. You can go to Twitch and can go to a lot. You can be a gamer on
Oh,
TikTok,
absolutely.
but you
But
have to find that niche that you're comfortable. And you could clearly tell that that was not your niche.
it wasn't my niche. And where I was going, what I'm going with this is, well, I started out as just a tarot reader. I'm going to read tarot, and I'm going to do that. Today, I found myself. I'm confident in myself more than I have ever been. I feel safe in my own skin. I'm comfortable with myself. I've made a community of family and friends, you included, that
And it's beautiful to watch it.
it is. And it's every day. It's like, it feels like when I hit that button in the morning, that 8 a.m., it's like a new symphony of people. It's a new symphony of joy. And I say it every day. If I can just make one of you be happy to get out of bed and get in the shower today, I did what I wanted to do. I made you feel good. And I'm excited to see where we're going with this, because I know this isn't it.
No, it isn't. It's just the
It's the tip
beginning
of the
of a
iceberg.
marvelous, yes, of a marvelous journey. Marvelous confetti.
It's marvelous confetti, darling, and don't forget the heart me. Just
Don't forget to hurry.
don't forget the heart me.
So with this journey, obviously you've experienced strolls, you've experienced the ups and
Yes.
downs, you've experienced the full emotional roller coaster. I have watched you and you have watched me cry, laugh, break down,
Yes.
fall, break
I
equipment, and do everything in between, scream that we're
had
gonna
my
quit.
backdrop drop on me day before yesterday.
Oh,
Whole
yes, you
backdrop
did.
just collapsed. Yes.
Yes, you did. And a year ago, that would have been like your biggest nightmare. And this week, you took it like a champ. You fixed it.
I
You pull your big hurt pants,
we didn't even pause the live. I'm like, guys, hang on, let me grab it. I threw it to the other side of the room. I'm like, all right, what's next? Cause
and then you built yourself with an even better background.
and it's beautiful. And
And
that's
it's
the wonderful
beautiful.
thing I find with this, with the streaming journey aligning with a spiritual journey, is not only am I growing every day spiritually, feeling stronger in myself, evolving to my ultimate best self, I'm doing that within the streaming is doing that as well. Like, we're, as much as, we always talk about how restrictive TikTok is and how it offers us such a great place of community where you do find people from
You do.
every walk of life. Um, Ultra conservatives to ultra not, and you find people who live in wild, wacky places to people who live like right next door to you. It brings in a community that doesn't just bring in one point of view, it brings in millions of point of views. And I just find that to be so beautiful,
It
and
is.
it's so welcoming to so many people who don't have that community outside their door. I don't
Absolutely.
know
Oh my
my
gosh.
neighbors. I've
I
lived here for
honestly,
11 years.
when I turn on a stream, I envision a map and all of these light bulbs, like, like a Christmas lights turning on. And I envision all of these people all of a sudden, like in a surreal way, teleporting into one room together. And that's how I envision the whole entire thing.
I love
But it's
that.
not
That's
easy.
beautiful.
But it's
I
not
have
easy
one
to
for
turn that
you.
button on.
When I hit
Yes,
that
got it.
button, my impression, I love this because I tell my chat this a lot. When I hit that button in the morning and I sit down, and I do the way I have it set up, and I often show my chat exactly where I am and what I see, because I envision it and I have it set up as a countertop where, if you want your reading, come on up, talk to me, come over here and talk to me, grab a cup of coffee. I have a coffee maker right here
Yes, you
so
do.
that we can make coffee together and we can have that coffee together. And if you want to tell me about your Aunt Myrna who tripped and broke her ankle, you have someone to tell that to today. You may not even want a reading. I get most of the people come in just want to chit chat.
For sure.
They just want a little human connection. And I find it's a great platform for that because it does. When I, like I was saying, when I envision my TikTok, to me it's a town. I finally got that perfect little shop on the corner with the brick siding and the little hay bales outside in the fall. And people come in and they say, "Oh, good morning, Star," and they grab their coffee and then we sit and we chat. Maybe they'll get a reading, maybe they won't, but they
Like
have
a
a
Luke
place of
Diver
community on their way to
from
work,
Shark
on their
Tank.
way to their day. And I find it amazing.
I can see that. I honestly can envision walking down New York Street and seeing your open sign and all the good
Yeah.
vibes and energy and coming in and
And
sitting
just
in the
like one
corner.
house, that's why I tell my chat, go visit the basement or go visit the attic because there's an educational center right downstairs. Her name is HK. Go check her out. She's amazing. Or there's someone selling wigs upstairs. Go check it out. I bought a wig. Like there's so many things in TikTok town. You know, we've
It
got
is.
we've got our amazing paranormal friend who's up the block by the cemetery.
Oh my God. We
having
have
having honey buns
we have it
and
all.
sweet tea. You know, like we have amazing creators that all have a different thing. And there's room on this TikTok town street for everybody.
There is. Now it's not easy. These streets are not easy. You gotta
No.
toughen up. You gotta put your armor on, whether it's your
Yeah.
wig, whether it's your whatever special thing that
Get
makes
your
you,
Brooklyn baddie on
yeah, yeah,
and
get your
do
fierce
it.
nails on. So
Yeah.
in you I know you have those
Yeah.
fierce nails. In this experience and this journey, okay, what is one thing that you find memorable as a challenge that you are proud that you overcame? I know, tough, deep question, huh?
That's a big one. There's a couple. The
Go
biggest
for it.
one was finding that consistency. Um, finding the and it sounds crazy because it's like it's a couple like
No,
four
I'm
or
just
5 hours a
laughing
day.
because I can just see me sitting on your shoulder.
Oh yeah. Oh
Don't skip
yes.
alive. Don't skip alive.
Dark Star, you don't need a day off. You can take a day off after and then be back at work tomorrow.
It's
And
more like Dark Star. Only the people who have made it can afford to take a day
can
off.
afford to take a day
We
off.
have not made it
We are
yet.
not there
We
yet,
can't afford
darling.
it.
We are still working. And listen, I'll say this, having your best friend as your journey partner is absolutely immensely helpful. So I would highly recommend that. But finding the consistency, to have the courage. It's not so much doing it. Hit the button, do the things, great. But sometimes just having that courage that when you see that troll or that person that you don't know how to deal with, that you have that courage to say, you know what, yesterday was hard. It was really hard. In fact, it was so hard that when I hit that button, I cried. But tomorrow morning, when I get up and I put on my face or my wig or whatever it is I'm going to do today, I have the courage to hit that button. And I remind myself every day that yesterday I had it, I can do it today. And if I did it yet, and
100%.
building that muscle memory of saying, well, it's 8 o'clock. I've been watching HK for 2 hours because she gets up at 3 in the morning and she's on and I do my things. It's my turn now and I got to do it. Finding that consistency is something I'm so proud of because as who I am and the freestyle life I was raised in, consistency and dedication is something, or discipline is not something I'm used to having. I'm used to just like, oh, well, it's Thursday, I'll do it.
This
Eventually, I'll
is
get there.
a very strict discipline
It is
world. It
strict
doesn't sound
discipline.
like it because everyone looks like they're having fun and it looks like everything is impromptu, but it's not. There's a lot of planning behind. There is the
Yes.
lighting and setting up the location and the angle and the clothing you're going to wear to the t-shirt you're going to put on. I
That's
heard
what
you
I'm saying.
say
Like
that you
that's
have
the
12
hardest
black
part.
t-shirts now.
Yes, we were talking about that. Yes, black t-shirts are best because the chat can see the chat. It's little things like that, like the lighting and all. That's the hard stuff. Once you hit that button and you're letting yourself be yourself, and I love to say it, living my best life. I'm doing it. I don't care. I
Yes.
don't care what, I almost get nervous. I get more nervous when people from the real world that I know, like from PTA, come walking in and they're like, I know you. And I'm like, oh, yeah, you do. And I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, just don't dox me. And then I see them in the supermarket and they're like, you are so courageous. And this has happened twice now. I saw you. I was too shy to say anything, but I saw you and you were doing your thing on the TikTok. They always call it the TikTok. And I am so I'm so jealous. I don't know how you're amazing. And I was always so afraid of they'd be like, but not to my face, they won't. So I take that in and I turn that into a badge of courage and I keep moving. It's a beautiful journey
That is a
because you
beautiful
find
journey.
yourself within it. You really find as a creator your creativity and yourself.
You do. And you find some amazing people
Oh,
along
you
this
do.
journey and you experience amazing moments. Can
You
you
do.
share a memorable moment that sticks out to you in your streaming journey that you're like, okay, if I could like relive this moment from last year, this is the moment I want to relive. Now, there might
Oh.
not be one, but is there one that stands out to you? If not, you can tell me a couple.
The day I drew your picture in that battle when I lost, that was amazing. I still have the picture. It's in your box. I don't want to talk about your box on the podcast. I have a box in my bedroom of HK things that when I
It's
drive,
okay. I have a box in my office too.
yeah, and it's filled with things. And one of
Yep.
those things is the day it's the little moments that that I found. The first moment that I realized you and I were on the phone and I found my best friend and I was so scared to say something to you because I'm like, she's gonna think I'm crazy. But I know I like this chick is like this is my spirit friend. The little
100%.
things, and for me it's a million little things. It's making the new friends. It's our friend Nikki, Geek Girl Nikki.
Oh,
You did a podcast with her.
yes.
She's family to me. Like her dad, that's my
Our dad
dad.
going
Like,
live now. It's
and
amazing.
dad's going live and he's
Papa
loving it.
Geek. Oh my gosh.
And the family of friends and the support and the nowhere else. I've had a million jobs. I've done a million different things. I've dabbled in everything and never in 1 year did I ever feel the community of support that I feel from the people I've met streaming.
100%. 100. I cannot, could have not said any better.
I just
But
had it
before,
to be dramatic. There's literally a tear rolling down my face because it's the truth.
it's the truth, 100%. But before we get all emotional and up in
I
our feels,
know.
and like TikTok, it's not tears. TikTok, I'm not
We're
crying.
not
You're
crying in
crying.
TikTok.
We're
It's
not
only
crying,
coffee
TikTok.
TikTok. It's only coffee.
I have to tell you the story, you guys, about the drawing, just so you
Yes.
understand what that memory is. We were relatively new at battling, and at this stage in our TikTok streaming, we were participating in competitive battling.
Yes.
And in order to battle and interact with that aspect of TikTok, you have to collect boosters and do certain things that,
Yes.
builds your team. And it's very difficult and it's very tedious and time consuming, and you have to spend time with the people you like.
You
And
do.
so one day we're battling and we are exhausted. We
It
are
was
running on
rank too. I
fumes.
think it was rank week.
It was rank day, and
It was rank
rank
day
day means we're competing all day long
all day.
for placement, and like we were running on fumes and slightly delusional. We probably hadn't slept in like 2 or 3 days at least.
At least.
And the chat goes, do a dare battle. And I'm not
Yep.
very good with dare. A lot of the dare battles involves like promiscuous things that I'm not comfortable with.
And
And
we all
so,
know when it's a dare battle, I want to lose. Like I'm ready for it. I'm like,
and this dare
yep,
was we had to draw each other. Whoever
yep.
lost the first round had to draw the other person during the next battle. And the battles are 5 minutes long. So she had 5 minutes to draw me.
I had a
And
notebook of like loose leaf paper, a ballpoint pen, and makeup.
yes.
That's all I
And
had to work with.
we're gonna have to get the picture of this drawing and
Yeah,
somehow get you guys to see this.
we're gonna have to post it. Yeah,
But basically, I look like the girl from The Ring
it's the
with
ring.
beard,
It's the ring,
with
but the
beard.
makeup is on point.
But I have a
Like her
beard.
makeup.
I'm pretty sure I have a beard.
I think because of the way I angled the hair that day, it might resemble something of a beard. It wasn't. I was trying to cover up some of the excess blush that trickled down,
Yeah, it's The
but
Ring with the
it's
beard.
the memories. The first time you asked me memories, the first time I hit 100K taps.
Oh,
The
that's
first
huge.
time I ever walked out of a live with like any kind of um
Real
like
money.
any kind, yeah, like to see like,
But
oh,
let's
I
be
left at
blunt.
$20.
This is a job, and we're building a career, and we're sustaining
And
our
to
families with it.
realize like in that moment
Real
that I
money.
realized like I could do this forever. I could do this. till I'm 80 years old and be happy.
100%.
I could do this my entire life.
So how does
And
your day look like then? If you can do this your whole entire life, tell us your day. What did it look like
from start to finish, you get
from
up.
start to finish?
And even at 80, I get up. You
Hmm.
well, most in it depends on if it's wig day. If it's wig day, I might just stick the hair up. You get yourself ready. You take that hour, you visit your bestie at her shop, you grab your coffee. I take my little walk. My day starts with my coffee and my walk down TikTok shop. I visit my bestie at the educational center, possibly the cemetery in case that paranormal guy is doing his thing. I go check out what's going on, and then I sit at my mirror and I tap for my bestie and I put my face on, and then I go and I give what I can give to the universe and the energy out there, the best of myself until I'm done. And then I plan for the next day. I do all my bulletins, I clean my office, sage, do candle work. And then I go to Geeks in the evening and see my friends and check out all the other readers that I'm friends with on TikTok. It's a wild adventure to just have so much more to do streaming wise and in my village of my community than I do even outside. Outside, I go to the grocery store. It's for me. My community, it's online.
You keep mentioning community, and I understand, like I wholeheartedly understand and relate to building this community because I look forward to certain people. You have sayings like Uncle Donut and
Ah,
Morning, and
yes.
you have things that you even identify people with, and it becomes your community. So how do you connect with your community
And
during your life and after?
it's not always easy. And I'll tell you,
Not.
quick story. It's not always easy. You get attached to people and life is life. Sometimes it's really joyous and sometimes not so much. And and I know we lost a friend last year. A really cool chick, really nice streamer.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. And I'm not gonna call any, I'm not gonna say it because not my place to say, but that
Correct.
hurt. That was
Yeah.
a loss. That was a break. And going to the memorial and the online memorial and just the again community of people gathering to remember this human being that we exchanged energy with. That's something I wouldn't have experienced here outside if I was working at, Acme Incorporated. You don't have that sense of community. It's 8 hours in and you're out. Here we check on each other. If you don't hear from me by like 5:45, my phone's going off. Are you okay? Are you sleeping? Get up, because you gotta go live. Like
If
we
I don't
all
see
check
you
on
in
each
my life, I'm
other.
sending the people to go wake you up.
Oh yeah, no, my phone's blowing up. I know Megan is after me. But it's that sense of community that I never could find in the real world because I was always different. I was a kid who was raised by a witch who was married to a devout Catholic and I went to Catholic school and was raised to practice my mom's practice. So you want to talk conflicted as growing up. I either had really good friends, one or two, or I didn't have any because I was the weird kid. Here I'm not the weird kid. Here I have a community of people who think sometimes the way I do, or if they don't, they're willing to hear what I have to say. Where in the real world,
Absolutely.
you don't see that a lot. You really
I
don't.
think if I disappeared from my day job for a month, nobody would even notice.
Nobody would notice. No.
Nobody would notice.
That's
Uh,
the funny thing. Like like I said, I worked in the corporate world. I've worked everywhere and I don't see or talk to any of those people again.
Not at all.
But
Not at
if
all.
I had to, TikTok went away. Listen, we all panicked that day.
Oh, we
And
don't
I
talk about that
talked to
day.
my friends from TikTok more that day because we all wanted to make sure I am not losing you.
Oh yeah. We developed a whole other community outside. We watched the
Yeah,
hearings together as a group,
as
like
as a
pretending like
group,
we were in a courtroom and having side conversations, and it
making
was
sure
a
we all knew
day.
where we were going to go.
Yeah.
It kind of in the way I look at the universe and the way I see that energy in the universe works. You're allowing yourself to open up your energy, not just to the people in your physical vicinity, but you're opening yourself up, Jewel, every single day when you go live. You
Every
are
single day.
opening your energy up to the masses. And if
The
those
good, with the
trolls come
bad,
in,
and the in between.
the good, the bad, the in between, and not for nothing, people are like, I can't take the trolls. Take the trolls, bring them in. I had one today that came in and was trying to get, and before I knew it, dropped a heart me and was telling people, make sure you're tapping that screen. My moderator in the chat, you know, she's in your chat
Yeah.
all the time. She was like, that was the quickest turnaround we've ever had.
Yeah. That's a skill right there.
Because they're looking for something too. They're putting that energy out there because hurt people hurt people.
Absolutely. With that being said, what is your biggest advice that you give to streamers? One of my biggest advice is how to handle trolls. We talk about trolls all the
Yes.
time. I try to instill in people that like turning trolls around and making them work for you and making that
Yes.
negative energy become a positive force to push you out into the FYP or the stream or whatever, is one of the biggest takeaways for me. But for you, what is like a big advice that you would give to a streamer? It could be the same, but what is your big like, hey,
My
if I could go back to myself a year ago,
yes.
this is the advice I would give myself.
And that for me is easy. The trolls, they'll take care of themselves. All that for me, that'll for me. If I whenever someone says to me, "What do you think I should do?" Be yourself. Don't be anybody different. Don't find your favorite streamer and then like, oh, I'm gonna do this. Like I'm gonna hold my hand and I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna say that and I'm gonna try to do. Be yourself. Be 100% your absolute 100% best authentic self. Because any great streamer that I've ever seen has always done that. They don't make excuses for themselves. They don't pretend to be someone they aren't. They're just them. They're just them. And I say it to my chat. Well, if you ask HK. If you want to know what I'm like in real life, just come to my live. I'm like this all the time. This
Oh,
is it.
100%.
100% you
The only
get
difference for me
star.
is there's some more colorful language outside of
Well, just
TikTok.
a little bit.
Just a little bit more colorful
A
language.
little bit. But
Although I
yeah.
catch myself saying unalived and bananaed all the time in real life.
Oh,
And cabbage. The
I don't
cabbage.
even say the word tap in real life anymore.
Boopity
I'm like,
boop.
when you go, tell my kids, oh, go up and just boop your phone on the thing so you can pay for it. They're like, what am I doing? It's like tap to pay. I'm like, don't just boop it.
Boop it.
Boop your phone. But yeah, be your authentic self. Always 100% be your authentic self because a copy is just that. It's a watered down version of an original. And then someone's going to copy you, and that's a watered down version of that original. Be
Oh, and
yourself.
we've seen quite a few of those lately.
Oh, I know they're coming.
Oh.
They're
Um,
coming.
I call the I don't know what exactly happened after. So for me, the day that TikTok went dark, it was kind of like Y2K, where everyone thought that the world was going to end at the stroke of midnight. And then again in 2012, right? Like the
Yes.
Mayan calendar
The
ended,
Mayan calendar.
so we're all
Yes.
gonna disappear. So whatever happened in January 19th, that TikTok shut down, when it resurfaced, all of a sudden, the days prior to it, everyone apparently lost their marbles and decided all the negative things and all the things I ever
Oh,
wanted to say, I'm gonna say it all up because we're not gonna be here tomorrow. But then
y'all
we were.
are manifesting it. Why do you think it only lasted 12 hours? Because everybody's on there. Goodbye, TikTok. I love you so much. It was so good. Stop
It was fun.
manifesting it.
And then when it came back around, everyone's like, "Oh shit, we came back." But now you have all these these people are like, "What did I just do?" And so they're trying.
Everybody just like sold out their grandma.
They did, and they sure did. Oh my God, they sold out everyone, and oh, it was hilarious. But then we come back, right? But it's almost like now they have to disguise themselves and be someone else,
Yeah.
because they got caught.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden, I'm watching. I don't think I have ever seen so much copied content
Oh my God.
as the
No.
resurfacing post January 19th. It's almost
Yes.
like everyone is copying everyone because they are too afraid to admit what they did 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
my take on it. So
I agree with
don't
that.
do that. Be original. Be your
Be
thing.
original. Do
Doesn't mean
you.
don't duet it. Don't mean don't stitch it. It doesn't mean like don't do the things. It just means as you do it like yourself.
No, and that's my thing. Like, listen, two people can do tarot. I have friends on TikTok. that do tarot. You have friends on TikTok that teach and recruit for agencies. Listen, we all
I
there.
teach people how to recruit and do what I do on a
I was
daily
gonna say
basis.
you teach people how to teach. But if you're gonna do tarot, don't watch my live stream and then go and do the things. Don't go out there and say, please and thank you and do all the things that I do because it's not you.
No,
Go
it's
out
not.
there and do it how you do it. The reason that people like yourself, myself, even the streamers that we know, it's because they go out and they give themselves. They don't have to be anything but who they are. They don't the best streamers, the quesos of the world, the ones that really put themselves out there. They're the ones that succeed.
100%.
So
So
success is
this
in
is
just being you.
and this is not the end of the success line.
Oh
So,
no.
so what do you have in mind for this upcoming year? What are your
Oh,
manifestations? I know. Look, this
so
is the kind of
much.
question that I ask her,
I
and
love
she
it.
just wants to shake me up and be like, HK, my brain is in like 12 different directions. And I'll be like, yes, but let's hone down. What's your this month? What's
Oh,
the end of the year manifestation? What are we manifesting this year?
this year, happiness, abundance. I want to grow. I want to watch my community grow. And I want to watch what I do, my morning show, and I'd like to expand it to afternoons if I could just stay awake after 6 p.m. because I'm so tired. I'm up at 3. But I want to expand the community. I want it to reach out and do I want to just bring good. As far as new things coming up, there's always something new at my shop. Now we're doing free yes or this or um it's with me because of how I am, and you know this, I'll wake up in the morning and be like, all right, HK, I'm doing this. Do you think I should do it? And you're like, go for it. Um, I don't really plan ahead, but the evolution, even just down to new backdrops, it goes daily for me. So you
Yes.
just never know what you're gonna get.
That is true.
You,
That is true.
and that is, I pride myself on the fact that you may walk into my tarot shop today and it's XYZ, and tomorrow morning I could have the cats on my lap and we could be jamming out to Pitbull. And we never even get to tarot that day because we're
Well,
so busy laughing.
the pragmatic tourist in me wants to be like,
I know.
if you
I
have a
love it.
goal. So like
Do
for
I have a
me,
goal? Yeah.
one of my goals was this
I want to touch the
podcast.
stars this year. I want to catch up. I want to be a live pro. I want that 100,000 under my belt. I want those little things. Um, Yeah, I want to succeed. I want to thrive and I want to be abundant within it. I want this to be my true full time going forward. And right now,
There we
yes.
go.
But I want that abundance. And I think wonderful thing about social media is if you do it and you commit to it and you're consistent, you can make dreams come true here.
You can. You absolutely can. You 100% wholeheartedly can make this work.
Yes.
Um, you know, And I am that type of creator that I'm always pushing the boundaries with other creators around me to see where their growth is going to take. I want,
Yeah.
like you said, the community is huge and it's super important, and we don't thrive alone. You have to have
No.
a community that is abundant in order for that energy to flow and circle back around.
Yes.
Otherwise, it doesn't come back. There is no return of that output.
No, we
And
talk about
so
it in the we talk about it when, especially when we do tarot in my life. So many cards, people think it's fortune telling, and it's really not. It is guidance, and a lot of the thing that tarot brings, especially to bring what I'm trying to bring to the world, is to be cognizant of not only what you're putting out there, what you're bringing in. So if you have negative in your life and you need, you want to see that positive, well, you have to let go of negative. You can't keep filling up your life with positive things, but dwelling in the negative. So to teach and to show people that you can release the resentment and the angers and bring in the positive. That's a big goal for me because I'm watching it happen daily in my life where
absolutely.
people come back to me and say, I for 2 weeks ago I couldn't get out of bed. I found your live, and now I'm looking for work. I'm out making friends. I found a new boyfriend. It's like there.
Just don't ask pregnancy questions, y'all. No pregnancy
No,
question.
no pregnancy, no legal.
No
It's
children.
listen,
No
no
pregnancy,
chill,
no legal, no kids.
no kids. I had a listen years and years ago. I had gone for an appointment at the doctor and I got confronted by the doctor, the lawyer, and the pharmacist. We have an agreement. They don't read tarot. I don't do health, pregnancy, or legal. It really is that simple. When it's that important to your life, you've got to see the professionals. Karmic wise, it's not ever good to get a reading on any three of those things because the universe needs to take care of yourself. It is
Nope.
not left for tarot cards, but that's just my opinion.
Absolutely. No, that I like that opinion.
I don't want that on my back.
I don't do any questions like that either, but I also in my world is more of like no politics, no religion.
Yes, that's another one. No
So
politics, no religion, and no sports. Mostly because I
uh ping pong counts? Or maybe chess? Just
chess
kidding.
is cool.
This is the sassy in me just like trying to find a loophole in
You
everything.
got because that's you're a Taurus. You've got to find the loophole.
100%.
That is your job. That's why you and
100.
I get along so well. Because when I'm literally like juggling the loopholes, you'll smack them out of my hand and say, "No, no, this is the one we're doing." And what I love is occasionally I can get you to put the law book down and just be silly, which I love so much.
Yes, occasionally we can be silly. We pay the price for the silliness. There's a place and space for it. But it does work.
This is why we're best
And it's
friends.
all allegedly. It's
It's
all
all
allegedly.
allegedly until there's no receipts. It's all
No,
allegedly.
it's all allegedly. One more tough question for you.
I'm
One
ready
more
for
tough
it.
question for you. How do you balance family in this?
That was a learning curve.
Oh, it
And
still
I
is for
struggled
me.
with that. I struggled with that the first 6 months really bad. That was a big part of the consistency that I was struggling with because especially when your family is new to it and they don't know what to expect. My sons,
Communicate with your family.
yeah, you have to communicate and you have to find that true balance. I have two teenage boys, two beautiful, amazing, brilliant teenage boys. But when I first started doing this, it consumed a lot of time and I didn't know what I was
Just
doing.
like
And I
any new
learned
business does.
exactly. And it frustrated them. Communicating, allowing your family to have a voice and for you to really hear that voice and respect it and then find that happy medium where I learned, okay, I'm done with the live. Now I'm going to stop everything I'm doing. I'm going to take that hour and I'm going to dedicate it to what they need from me while they're not here. Do all those little things. And then I go back to work, finish up my day, prepare for the next day, and know that when my boys, because I'm a single mom, when I walk back in that, when those boys come back in that house, I'm ready to deal with them from that time till dinner. And then I can finish up my day. It's just like building a real business. You have to
100%.
you have to that's when my Taurus side kicks in. That's when my other sign, my other sun signs, my moon signs all kind of come into place is because you have to learn to be more organized and be generous with your time with your family because they need you too. And it's a juggling act and it's hard, but you can do it. You can do it, especially because you work from home.
That is the part of my upcoming year that I'm working better on it because as a hyper focused human being, when I commit, I commit.
You never, sorry.
Never, ever, ever.
Ever.
And when those goals are right there and you set that goal,
Yep.
um, I mean, especially I feel like in this niche, this is not a sport. Obviously, I understand that we're not playing sports over here, but I can actually relate this a lot to sports. If you don't train every day, if you don't practice
Yep.
it every day, if you don't post
That's
content every day, if you're not researching
yep.
what's trending, if you are not exploring different alternatives for monetization, what's the best output for your input? If you're not building those relationships and you don't grow.
Nope.
Like the percent of people that hit that jackpot algorithm to have that one trending video that boosts them, it's far few in between.
Yep.
Okay. And the ones that do it usually don't know what they have and they tend to
No.
ignore it, take it for granted. And Lord have mercy, there's some
And then they
accounts out
lose
there
it. Yes.
that I would love to swap. accounts. Just
Oh,
put
in a
my name on that
second.
account and have the algorithm feed that is feeding them and then take off from there. Oh, I would pay good
Oh,
cabbage for some of these
to
accounts.
start over, even just to start over, because you make mistakes along the way, big ones. And
Hmm.
I did that. Part of the reason that
I make
I
mistakes
went
all the
through a
time to explore. What are you kidding? I
yes.
just got myself like 4 restrictions last week alone.
Well, yeah, because you use your account as like a beaker. You mix everything in there, shake it up, and see what happens.
So I
Um,
can tell you what works and what
so
doesn't
you
work.
can
And let me
tell us
tell you.
what works and what doesn't. But I did that for a long time. Yeah, I was going consistent, but because I was struggling with the family thing, for a little bit there, I was going through the divorce and going through all that stuff. Um, I did struggle and I did miss out on a good 5 to 6 month window of like I could have just been pure drive and growth. And I see that now, and now I am pure drive and growth. I see it, and the last 6 months has been nothing but let's do this. And I did find that time for the boys and to do the things. But when you have kids and your kids are little, it's hard. It can be
Oh,
done,
it's hard.
but it is whiteboards everywhere. It is scheduling your time, and it's knowing and having that vision and that bullet point of what you want to see come out of it. Manifestation only works when we speak it and then we put the energy into it. You can't just
Agree.
speak it and you can't just put the energy into it. And my account alone is living proof to show you can rehab a messed up account.
Yeah, you
You
can.
can. I haven't had a violation on that account in 7 months.
Let's go.
And now you see my numbers. They're changing. They're growing. We're 100 plus new followers every day.
Every single day.
But that's the other thing. If I could give advice, you asked me that earlier, but if I could give one more piece of advice to someone new, stop looking at your numbers every 5 minutes. You're new. Take a moment to learn and to grow, because those things don't happen overnight.
What is the thing that you send me a screenshot every single day to talk about?
My numbers.
Post it live. But which numbers are you looking at? Do you focus on one?
I focus on my growth numbers, on who's coming in and where our pushes are. It's mostly because I get mad at TikTok.
No, but like one of the big conversations we have constantly throughout the year is
Mhm.
looking at growth from different angles. Growth not
Yes.
always means monetization. Growth is,
No,
did
it's
my
not.
tax
It's not
increase? Did
that
my
one
viewers
count.
increase? Did,
You,
you know?
yes. I
And,
finally learned that. I said it to you this morning. We looked at. I pulled that page, and I said,
mhm.
"Yeah, my views are down, but look at how many new friends we made.
Yep,
Look at how many taps. Look at the taps. In less than 3 hours, I had almost 150,000 taps. That's
that's
huge
huge.
for me.
That's huge for anyone.
It's huge, exactly. But yeah, so my views were down. So I could either go cry that my views were down, or just chalk it up to, what are you gonna do? But look what we did here. It's
Hmm.
again that star card that we talked about earlier. It's letting go of the negative to bring in the positive. If you're always juicing down on, something really unhealthy and then you drink a green drink, you're not doing anything for yourself. But if you push away, the bad milkshake and you drink that ilky green drink, you're going to grow. May
Yes.
not be easy the first time, but before you know it, you're running 10 miles and you're swinging around on a live pro because you put the energy into the positive and push the negative off. You're not always going to have a perfect day.
No, but you have to take the imperfect days to hone down, to find your niche, to find your vibe,
Yes.
to find your tribe. Um,
Yes.
Take that time. Those bad days are almost as important as a good day. What
Oh,
was it different on that
absolutely.
bad day? How were you?
Yes.
How was the lighting? How was the space? How was the music? What did you
Right.
put out? And most important, did you let the universe muffle you? Like, for example,
Right.
today alone, today was a tough day
Hmm.
and today we had this on the schedule and you were gracious enough to give me the space to be like, hey, if we need to postpone this, but I know that postponing only harms
Yup.
me. I
Yes.
know I'm the only one that's going to get penalized for that postponing. Nothing else is going to get benefited from there.
And I knew when
And
I said that, that would be exactly, I knew it. I knew it. I'm like, if I say this, she's going to be like, nope, I got this. I'm going in, I'll find a space.
and
Because
sometimes you have to, but you
that's
have to
how you
remind
do
yourself,
it.
you have to find that space.
Jewel,
Don't push it
you
tomorrow.
want a funny story? How
I always
about
want a
this
funny
one?
story.
When my best friend was because I had a battle that day. My best friend was in a restaurant in a bathroom stall tapping and throwing gifts so that I could bat. Yeah, the
Allegedly
things
pretending that they had
allegedly in
diarrhea.
a bathroom.
Pretending.
It was alleged. She wasn't really. It was
It
allegedly.
was allegedly.
But it's the things that we'll do to make sure that we are there. If I have to go live from my front yard because my house is on, I'm gonna have to do that. You have to be able to make adjustments within your day because it's not always gonna go perfect. And you're all right because sometimes those imperfect days bring you the best abundance for the day because you're rolling with it. You're showing the
Yeah.
universe, I'm not scared. I got this.
Yeah. 100%.
Yup.
100%.
You
So,
can, it's never perfect, but it's
you have a
fun.
question for me? Oh, I put her on the spotlight
Uh,
again.
you did you actually hear the wheel go? Wait, what?
Uh-huh. I did.
Mm. Um. Okay. Yeah, I have a question for you. Now, just a real quick, to back up. I met you because I joined New Star, which is
Correct.
personally, this is not a New Star commercial, but I love my agency. And instantaneous bond. We were the besties from the moment it started. Over this year, it feels like 20. It really
It
does.
does
I
feels like
truly think
20.
that it's like dog years, except instead of
It
one
is.
year is five, it's like
Hmm.
1 month is 5 years. But we're just gonna stick with that. Your favorite moment, the Dark Star HK moment, your favorite moment over the past year.
Oh
I need to
gosh, we
research
have
pictures.
so
So
many,
many. Like I wouldn't
so
even know
many
what to
favorite
answer. It's like
moments.
that was the one question I was. If she asked me I don't even know. But I do love the picture. That was amazing.
That was an amazing day. I do have to agree. That was an amazing day. For me, it's kind of like a repetitive thing that always happens. Um, Listen, if there's a thing that can go wrong, that will go wrong with TikTok, it's going to happen on my live first.
Always.
I go live extremely early, right when TikTok does their almost when TikTok is doing their reset of time. And
Yep.
so any glitches, bugs, and everything in between usually happens on my live. And by the time people start really waking up and going live, a lot of these have kind of like worn themselves out. And by the time folks have gone, most of the stuff like it's fixed. So I am very strict with my lifetime. That no matter what, minimum hour and a half. You ride lack of camera. You like ride lack of audio. You
Oh.
ride you ride aesthetic echoes. Um, you ride
Oh. The
fights with your
echoes.
family in the middle of a live. Like you ride it all. Okay.
Yes.
And for me, the best thing that I know is no matter what happens in my life, you have this sense that you know when things are gonna go down and you put yourself in the box and you
Every
get all
time.
the other moderators in the box. And it doesn't matter if you're half asleep, you've been asleep in my boxes, you've been in
Yes.
pajamas, you have literally dropped everything to be there for me to be able to handle what I needed to handle. And sometimes you need to know that you have that community to back you up. When I can't talk because my audio is not working, people can only hear the boxes. You're there.
Always.
You're
Yep.
there rallying up everyone else to be there. I think one time I couldn't get off the live, but I had to go somewhere. I don't remember if it was to pick up my kids. It was one of the rank days. You literally stay in the live, and I was gone for 2 hours.
Yep.
And you
And we
literally
just sat
stay
there,
there for 2 hours.
keeping your algo going. One of my favorites though was Tiny Tiny. The day our friend was banana twice.
Oh, the
That was
tiny
an amazing
tiny.
day. That was an amazing day.
Or when I read tarot in your room, and I have no idea what
Yes,
tarot was,
that's
and I
our
have
favorite.
never
No,
gotten a
that was the
tarot.
best.
That was
Yes,
great, learning
when
how
you
to read.
read tarot.
Although,
What do you so yeah, so okay, we're gonna flip this on you for a second.
yes.
One last question. Where do you see us in a year? What do you want to see for us, the
Um,
crew next
It's
year?
it's interesting because from the first day I started going live, and I don't know if you remember this from the beginning, but I mentioned this at least once a month in my life. There's a particular content creator that I kind of have it on like my wall, on my
Yes.
mental wall of where I want to be. And
Yes.
for those of you guys that are not familiar, his name is Mr. Ballin.
Yep.
And Mr. Ballin is a creator that started just like most of the creators, hustling, doing his thing, the TikTok dances. He threw spaghetti on the wall, and one day spaghetti hit the wall and he had a
Yes.
trending video. Okay. And from that moment on, he never sees the opportunity to expand. And so if you look at Mr. Ballin today, Mr. Ballin is not a streamer, he's a production company. He is a
Yeah.
community of the last time I looked was 37, but it's probably like 40 some, if not more employees. It's a production company, it's a merch line, it's multiple podcasts, it's various channels going on, it's partnerships, it's interviews. I see um building this production. Like we
Yep.
have the podcast now going. Now take it. I'm only down to maybe one or two episodes a month, but it's running. We have the Discord city running. We
Yep.
have the merch lines running. We have the streaming. We're building the other channels. We're now running YouTube, Instagram, Threads,
Yep.
Facebook, Lemonade, Clapper, Favorited. Oh gosh, the list goes on. All of the platforms now are running simultaneously. X now they might not be like to the same part, but it's running.
Yep.
So my vision is
Empires.
it's an empire where all of us are part of this production company.
I
And
love
there is a
this.
place for the behind the scenes. There's a place for Scrooge to run all the technical and the IT and all the things that he likes to do behind the camera. There's a place for the Megs to control whatever she and Leo Mom. And then there's a place for us in front of the camera and the management.
Yep.
And it's just a a team of creators honed in an and I don't want to say management company because that's not it, but it's a production company. I
Yes.
want to be HK version of Mr. Ballin,
I love that. And that's why we're ride or die.
you know? And that's where I want
100%.
to be. Like I want to be in that position where all of these projects come into place and I have a place to put everyone's project into and push everyone together.
I got you. Let's do this. All
I think
right.
we're
That's
already
our
doing
year.
that. I think we're already there,
We're
in a
that's
way.
it. But that's it. We're not getting there. We're not gonna do it. We are doing it.
We're just not like they're there
We're
to
just
where I
hopping
can.
timelines, babe. We're just hopping timelines. We're letting
And
the
I want the
universe catch up
people
to us.
within our team and this community to be thriving independently and financially together. Like I don't
And
want to
that's that
hoard that
community.
abundance.
And
I
that's
want
that
this
community that I
abundance
talk about.
to
Us.
sustain
With
everyone.
100%. I love it. I love it. Yay.
You
All right,
know,
let's do this thing. I
let's
love
do
it.
this thing. Well, this was a
Thank
wild
you.
journey.
This was fun.
And
I can't wait for the next one.
and everyone asked me, so just so all the folks in the chat were like, okay, she's your best friend. Why was she not your first episode? I know my best friend too well. I knew that if I put her on the
Yep.
spotlight on the very first one without a way for her to research and listen to other things, she
Yep.
would be a deer in the headlights. So
Yep.
for those of you guys that think that I put her on the back burner, no, I created a space for her to thrive. Create a
Yep.
space for your community to thrive
And that's what
without
friends do.
putting the pressure on.
They
So,
look, yeah, they take care of each other. And that is, I didn't want to be the first one. I don't want to be the one where we iron out the mistakes. Let's iron out some boo boos.
mhm.
And then let's make it epic. Let's make it
And this is
epic. And I
epic.
hope that we did.
100%. Now, I'm going to be posting this as we always do, with the description with the different platforms that you can find her. But where do you want people to find you the fastest right now? What's your
TikTok.
handle?
At Dark Star Studios, DarkStarStudios. That's it. That's my space.
And
And you
look
can
for
find,
the account with really healthy views and actually going live in the
yeah, it's
morning.
got really
Don't.
healthy followers. There's only one. There is not more than one. And I'm on every social platform. I'm on Facebook. I'm on YouTube. You can't miss me. The only one that yeah, there really isn't any that I'm not on right now. My streaming every day is TikTok, but going forward, I will be live on YouTube at the same time very soon if I can get my teenage son to finish setting it up.
And
I'll be
ish,
doing that.
what is the time?
8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every day, Monday through Friday, and Saturdays and Sundays, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
There you have it, folks. There you
Yeah.
have it. Looking forward to future episodes where we see where this journey is it has taken you.
Yeah, we will
Um,
definitely have to catch up.
and I really am honored that you're part of this journey with me. I appreciate you giving us a little bit of your time, opening yourself up, sharing some of your highs and lows, giving some tips to future creators, and allowing them to also get to know you for future journey together. And love you to pieces, girl.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being my very first podcast. And I love you right back. To the moon, baby. We're
To
going to
the
the
moon.
moon.
And for everyone else listening, please make sure that you subscribe and you hit all of the buttons and all of the things and do all of the human things because we need all your support. Stay
Yep,
tuned for
I'm here
more
on the YouTube
episodes.
too. Catch me on the
Exactly.
YouTube.
And stay tuned for more episodes. If you have any idea of any content creator that you'd like to see get interviewed, please message us and let us know. If you want to be interviewed, please message us, and we'll see you there. And hopefully soon we'll be sponsored, and I'll be able to say in on behalf of so and so. So if you are a
Mm.
sponsor out there, please let us know too. And I'll see you guys on the other side.